welcome to the Solid Bar Company. I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Lisa.
And we're going to do soy tea light candles today, which is really, really simple. And once you've done it once, it's kind of addictive and you'll never probably want to buy candles again. So Lisa has never done this before, and so she's very excited.
I am.
So what we're doing is, I've got some soy wax here. It's kind of like white beads. I don't know how well you can see it. And I basically melted that in a metal double boiler, which you could also actually melt in a Pyrex jug in the microwave. And then I've let it cool down. The soy wax melting temperature is not very high, so it doesn't take very long if you want to do it in a double boiler in a saucepan. And my assistant will just pass that to me now. And what we're doing, once it's melted, because we're not adding fragrance, we're adding we're not adding any colour or scent to this one, then we don't need to get it to a very high temperature. We actually just need to let it cool down to around 105 degrees, between sort of 100, 95 at the very lowest. But I tend to find 105 degrees works really well. So I'm just going to see if that's got to that temperature. Basically, it's just with a simple thermometer. And if you want to buy a kit at the end of this, then these things will be included. And you can use a Pyrex dish as well as a double boiler. These are the double boilers. They do pour slightly better than Pyrexes, but otherwise there's not a lot of difference between the two. So I think we just need to give it another few minutes. But while we're doing that, the tea lights themselves, we've got these flame retardant recyclable plastic ones. I don't know if you can see, clear ones. And they've got a sort of central circle. We've also got some tin ones here. There's really not a lot of difference between the two. I think apart from the tin ones are a little bit more bendy, and sometimes you have to kind of straighten them out. They're a little bit cheaper to buy as well, but you could use either for soy wax. And what we've got is these pre-tabbed wicks. They're very small and you can buy them for soy wax in packets of, I don't know, 1,000 I think. And you literally just put each one into the centre of the tea light. You can reuse the tea lights if you want to and just put another wick in once they've burnt down. And we don't need to put anything sticky to hold them in place. They hold themselves in place pretty well because they're all quite small. And I don't tend to do scent with tea lights because I use essential oils and they evaporate so quickly. You're much better off doing plain unscented candles and then putting them into something like one of these boilers here where you can just burn essential oils,
on top of it?
Yeah, otherwise you find that you need such a big percentage of essential oils, it makes the tea lights very expensive and then they just evaporate and you don't get the smell from them. But we will do some we'll do some soy candles next week and we'll do some scent and colour. And they've got lids on them so they kind of keep the scent better. But for these at the moment we just do them plain. The other thing is that you kind of get this mottled effect on soy candles. Sometimes when you buy them in the shops you can see they've got this kind of bumpy, irregular surface, and I've tried lots of different soy waxes. It's not the soy wax, it's just the nature of soy. It doesn't matter which one you get, they always have that. And if you put a colour in, it does kind of make it look worse, but sometimes I do it anyway just to have a bit of colour. But for these today we're just going to have this nice cream, natural soy colour. You can't buy organic soy, unfortunately. There's just 4 big companies that give you soy wax, but it does burn very cleanly. It burns a bit longer than paraffin wax, and it's supposed to reduce some of the toxins and things in the air rather than put them out, which is what paraffin wax does. I feel like I've been talking a lot. Right, let's just see. So I think that's about around 100 degrees. So literally you just pour them in there. Yeah. Now,
So how full?
Well, you can do it to the top, or you can do it 3/4 and go back and fill them all up. It's up to you. And I've melted just over 4 ounces there, so that's going to give you about 7 or 8 tea lights, probably 7.5. So that's fine. And it's quite easy to spill them, so I always do a bit of extra wax. So if you manage not to spill any, I mean that's going to be amazing because that's your first time doing it. So you're being natural. You can see it's already sort of starting to set inside the jug.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine, and we'll just straighten them up in a sec. If you just do 7 and then you won't run out if you want to go back over them. Brilliant. Oh. Don't worry, you've managed to do it without spilling. That's great. It does sort of, because as it's drying, it just changes and becomes thicker, and so it's kind of difficult to sort of gauge, you know, how it's going to come out, if you see what I mean. Brilliant. And if you had a lot around the sides and you're doing a really huge amount of tea lights, you could always then reboil the wax to get the extra wax to melt again. But that's brilliant. That's a brilliant job. Well done. Okay. And that's literally it. You just wait for it to dry.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You wouldn't go and buy those. That's it. Okay.
Great.
Thanks for watching.
It's mad.